Porter's five forces framework, very important topic. CMA Inter Group 2 from Strategic Management section. Okay, so this is your lecture number 22. So, what do you mean by Porter's five forces framework and what are its benefits? See, Porter's five forces framework is nothing but helps to identify the sources of competition in an industry or sector. Okay, when using this framework to understand competitive forces, it is essential to keep in mind the following. First, need to keep in mind that it must be used at the level of strategic business unit and not at the level of whole organization, because organizations are diverse in their operational matters. The framework must be used just to give a snapshot in time. It is important not just to describe these forces but also to understand how they can be countered and overcome in the future. Okay, so these competitive forces will not only be subject to steady modifications into the future, but more importantly, the discontinued caused by modification in the macro environment. Okay, then the five forces are independent of each other. Pressures from one direction can trigger off trigger off changes in another in a dynamic process of shifting sources of competition, and competitive behavior may be concerned with disrupting these forces and not simply accommodating them. So these five points need to be keep in mind while uh, understanding competitive forces. Okay, the threat of entry, the first and most important five forces framework is the threat of entry. The threat of entry means the threat of entry will depend on the extent to which there are barriers to entry. Okay, barriers to entry are factors that need to be overcome by new entrants if they are to compete successfully. This should be such as providing led to entries and not as permanent barriers. Okay, the typical barriers are maybe economic of scale, brand loyalty, then absolute cost advantage, customer switching cost, and government regulations. These are the theatre of entries. So, in case of economic of scale arises when unit cost fall as a firm expand its output. Sources of scale economics include cost reductions gained through mass producing a standardized commodity, discounts on bulk purchases of raw material inputs and component parts, the advantages gained by spreading fixed production cost over a large production volume, and the cost savings associated with spreading marketing and advertising cost over a large volume of output. If these cost advantages are significant, then a new company that enters the industry and produces on a small scale suffers a significant cost disadvantages relating to established companies. And what do you mean by brand loyalty? Brand loyalty exists when consumers have a preference for the product of established companies. A company can create a brand loyalty through continued advertising of its brand name, product and company name, patent protection of product innovation achieved through company research and development programs, and emphasis on high product quality and good after sale service. Okay, and what do you mean by absolute cost advantage? Absolute cost advantages means it arises from superior production operation and processes due to accumulated experience, patents or secret processes, control of particular inputs which are required for production such as labor, material, equipment or management skills that are limited in their supply, and access to cheaper funds because existing companies represent lower risk than new entrants. If established companies have absolute cost advantage, the threat of entry as a component of five forces is weaker. Okay, so customer switching cost means Switching cost arise when it costs a customer time, energy and money to switch from the product offered by one established company to the product offered by a new entrant. When switching costs are high, customer can be locked in the product offerings of established companies even if new entrants offer better product. Okay, government regulations means legal restraints on competition vary from patent protection to regulation of market through to direct government action. Of course, managers in the hereto protected environments might face the pressure of competition for the first time if governments remove such protection. Historically, government regulation has constituted a major barrier into many industries. Okay, so these are some barriers, typical barriers. Then competitive rivalry. Competitive rivalry means competitive rivals are organizations with similar product and services aim at the same customers group. Okay. The competitive struggle can be fought using price, product, design, advertising and promotion spending, direct selling effort, and after sale service and support. More intense rivalry implies lower prices or more spending on non price competitive weapons or both. Okay, the intensity of rivalry among established companies within an industry is largely a function of the factors such as the extent to which the competitors are in balance, where the competitors are roughly equal in size. There is a danger of intense competition as one competitor attempt to gain dominance of over another. Conversely, the less competitive market tend to be those with dominant organizations within them, and the similar players have accommodated themselves in this situation. Okay, the level of industry demand is a second determinant of the intensity of rivalry among established companies. Growing demand from new customer or additional purchases by the existing customer tend to moderate competition by providing greater scope for company to compete for customers. Okay, and in industries where fixed costs are high, profitability tend to be highly leveraged to sales volume, and the desire to grow volume can spark intense rivalry. Okay, if the addition of extra capacity is in large increment, the competitors making such an addition is likely to create at least short-term overcapacity and increase competition. And the level of differentiation plays an important role in a commodity market where product or services are undifferentiated. There is a little to stop customer switching but when competitors. So these are some points of competitive rivalry. Now, the bargaining power of the buyers. The bargaining powers of the buyer is bargaining power of the buyer refers to the ability of buyer to bargain down prices charged by companies in the industries or to raise cost of companies in the industry by demanding better quality product and services. Okay, buyer power is likely to be high when some of the following conditions exist. The product or service that the industry supplies comprises a large number of small operations. In that case, buyer bargaining power is high. The product or service that the industry supplies comprises a large number of small operations. Second, there is a concentration of buyers, particularly if the volume purchases of the buyer is high. अगर buyer purchase कर रहा है high volume of product, then in that case bargaining power of buyer also mostly high. When the supply industry depend on the buyers for a large percentage of its total creditors, in that case also buyer bargaining power will be high. There are alternative sources of supply, perhaps because the product or service requires is undifferentiated between suppliers, or when the deregulation in the market spawn new competitors, and when switching costs are low so that the buyer can play off the supplying companies against each other to force down processes. Okay, so now the bargaining power of the supplier. What are the bargaining power of the supplier? Let's see. The bargaining power of the supplier refer to the ability of suppliers to raise input prices or to raise the cost of the industry in the other ways. Supplier power is likely to be high when some of the following conditions exist. What are the conditions? When the product that the supplier sell has few substitute and is vital to the comprise in the industry. जो भी product supplier भेज रहा है, if that substitute are very few, in that case the bargaining power of the supplier is very high in the industry. There is a concentration of supplier rather than a fragmented source of supply. If there is a concentration of supplier rather than a fragmented sources of supply, in that case also bargaining power of the supply is high. The brand of the supplier is powerful. अगर supplier का brand powerful है तो in that case bargaining power of the supplier is high and he can raise input prices. And the supplier customer are highly fragmented. If also the supplier customer are highly fragmented, in that case bargaining power of the supplier is high and he can raise the input prices. Then supplier can threaten to enter their customer industry and use their input to produce product that would compete directly with those of companies already in the industry. Okay, so these are the bargaining power of the supplier. Now the threat of substitute. The threat of substitute. Threat of substitute means substitute product refer to the product of different business or industry that can satisfy similar customer needs. Substitute product refer to the product of different businesses or industries that can satisfy similar customer needs. Substitution reduces demand for a particular class of product. Substitution reduces demand for a particular class of product as customer was to the alternative. Customer was to the alternative. Substitution may take several forms. There could be product for substitution, for example email substitution for a postal service. Then there may be substitution of need by a new product or service, rendering an existing product or service redundant. And generic substitution occur where product or services compete for disposal of income. Okay, but Andrew Grove, former CEO of Intel, has argued that Porter's 5 forces model ignores a 6th forces: the power, vigor, and competence of complementers. Complementers are companies that sell product that add value to the product of companies in industry, because when used together the product better satisfy customer demands. The complementers to the personal computer industry are the companies that make software application to run on those machines. the greater the supply of high quality software applications to run on personal computers, the greater will be the value of personal computers to customers. The systematic analysis of the forces in the industry environment using the Porter's framework is a powerful tool that helps managers to think strategically. The systematic analysis of the forces in the industry using the Porter's framework is a powerful tool that helps manager to think strategically. Let's write that the systematic analysis the systematic analysis of the forces in the industry environment using the Porter framework is powerful tool that helps manager to think strategically. Okay, so Porter's five framework is very essential for manager to think strategically. Okay, so this is it all about Porter's five forces framework. You just need to remember first 5 point while keeping in mind of Porter's five forces framework. It must be used at the level of strategic business unit and not at the level of whole organization. This is because organizations are diverse in their operation and market. Then write that the framework must not be used just to give a snapshot in time, but also it is important not just to describe these forces but also to understand how they can be countered and overcome in the future. These competitive forces will not only be subject to steady changes into the future, but more importantly, the discontinuous caused by modification in the macro environment. The five forces independent of each other. Pressure from one direction can change in another in a dynamic process or switching sources of competition. Competitive behavior may be concerned with disrupting these forces and not simply accommodating them. Then the five forces framework are the threat of entry. First, the threat of entry, then competitive rivalry, then the bargaining power of the buyers, the bargaining power of the buyers, then the bargaining power of the supplier, the bargaining power of the supplier, and the threat of substitute. Five forces framework. You can write in short. The threat of competition, the threat of entry, then competitive rivalry, C, then the bargaining power of the buyer, bargaining power of buyers, then the bargaining powers of the supplier, TBTS, and the threat of substitute, the threat of substitute. Okay, the threat of entry, competitive rivalry, the bargaining power of the buyer, the bargaining power of the supplier, and the threat of substitute. Okay, five forces framework. A very important topic. You just need to remember all the important point and also important headings, so that you will secure good marks. Porter's 5 forces framework. Thank you so much.